Hey everybody, welcome back to The Real with your host Nnamdi Odazu, myself Corey Johnson. Costell and Kelly are still dead.
They're still dead. They're still deceased. They're not deceased actually. They're really busy. Sorry that we couldn't get the whole crew back for several episodes, but it's towards the end of the semester where people are getting busier and busier. So we're gonna try and get everybody back for a big old reunion, and it's gonna be glorious. But until that time, we're just gonna have to keep on rocking.
No, they're dead. But we also have a special guest here today, and I would like him to introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Ryan McNulty. I am the writer and director of the upcoming film Incident Report.
And Ryan, when is Incident Report going to screen?
It's screening April 1st at 2 p.m. Linthicum Hall at Towson University.
Oh shit.
Good. I'm keeping with the tradition of us plugging stuff that's already going to happen like before the episode comes out.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff.
Yeah, you might as well keep going with that tradition. So yeah, this episode, we haven't done this type of episode of The Real in a while. We've done 2 panels already of Black Media and Studio Ghibli. That was a fun podcast where we discussed all things,
Yeah, Black Media was lit, but BuzzFeed doesn't want me to say that.
BuzzFeed hates Corey Johnson for reasons.
Top 10 reasons Corey can go fuck himself.
But this is gonna be kind of a get to know the director, get to know the artist type deal.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, McNulty, me and you both road class, rest in peace, road class. See you up in heaven. But McNulty, I gotta say, when you first came out for LKT, you were pretty reserved, quiet kind of gentleman. But now you've
blossomed
in the year since. You really came into your own. For
I mean, I don't know. I guess it just takes time for me to unfurl myself, I guess.
Well, I see, but I have a special connection with you in that we're both Cream boys.
Hell yeah.
Them Cream boys.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Cream Productions.
Cream boys. No, McNulty, I know your true self, and you rarely let that show outside of the confines of the creamy shell that we surround ourselves in. So, I gotta ask you, McNulty, who's the real you?
I'm just me. I don't know. I guess I see what you're saying. I just kind of let myself go when I'm with the Cream team because I know that they don't censor themselves. I have no reason to fear judgment at all.
Yeah, you can really be yourselves around us because
absolutely,
we're all probably like on some kind of list, each and every one of us,
in our own special ways.
Yeah, we don't know what list y'all are on. It could be.
Oh, I'm not allowed back at SeaWorld.
See, no, that's concerning because I don't know what you could have done to earn that. Did you molest Shamu or something like? Okay, and you're gonna edit that out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make a long pee. God damn it, McNulty! Every time I'm around somebody with cream, the worst part of me comes out.
God damn.
Oh my god.
This is why I'm very wary to get all of Creamed on The Real because that would be so not safe for work.
It's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah, but I guess we can get into the spotlight. So, Ryan, I gotta ask, what attracted you to the world of filmmaking and media production? What was the moment that made you say, I want to do this for the rest of my life?
Well, I guess filmmaking for me kind of comes from a dark place. In my senior year of high school, in that winter of 2014, it was the worst part of my life. My grandfather, who I was really close to, passed away. Mm-hmm. The love of my life shot me down.
Was it the same one that you wrote all those love letters to?
I wrote one love letter, Corey. Shut up. And then then to top it off, after all that, I got pretty sick. It's like came at the worst time too, because like I was really sick right at the time of my grandfather's funeral. So my dad was driving me back home from the viewing, and we went to go get some Chick-fil-A, and we're in the drive-thru, and I'm feeling pretty nauseous, and I said to myself, I can wait this out, and then I couldn't wait it out, so I had to open the door, get out in the middle of the drive-thru, and just dry heave. right next to the drive-thru, and there's like a car of kids looking right at me while I'm doing it.
Oh god.
So that's just the worst part of my life. And then that winter, a good friend of mine, he convinced me to buy Pulp Fiction, saying that it was like the best movie ever made. And I thought, well, I don't know. I don't really know what this is, but I guess I'll give it a shot. Why not? So I put in Pulp Fiction, and I was just enamored. I was, everything about it was perfect to me at the time. And that following semester in high school, I took a video production course where we just made little videos for the class, and that's where all the stuff in my portfolio for LKT when I tried out came from. So like the Steve Buscemi video also.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like,
Yep.
what compelled you to do that? Because honestly, I've seen a lot of shit on the internet, and that might be one of my favorite things that I've ever seen.
I don't know. I just like Steve Buscemi. He's a great actor.
I can fucking tell you like Steve Buscemi. You had like a shrine to him on the wall, and you like kissed him on the lips.
Got very intense, that video.
It got very sensual.
It makes me a little uncomfortable watching that now. Actually,
Why? It's sexy.
It's like great until like the close up of my lips, and you see like a little prepubescent mustache and like.
But that's part of the
pimples. It's
McNulty
just-
charm.
Oh God.
I mean, like,
Hope not.
no, that's part of the charm. That's what you see when you're like, oh yeah, this is Academy Award winning.
Anyway, back to the point.
Continue.
So that winter is just, it was the worst part of my life, and movies kind of brought me out of that depression I was in. And then coupling my newfound love of movies, after I watched Pulp Fiction, I started tackling Coen Brothers, other Tarantino works, more Kubrick movies that I hadn't seen before, just all the classics that I can think of. And then, coupling that with actually making videos for a high school class, I really dug it. And then when I came to Towson that fall, I didn't come to Towson for film or EMF or anything. I came for secondary education because I thought it was a practical job, simple to get into, and I liked history, so I thought I'd be a history teacher. But about a month into college, I was in my TSM class, which was extreme teaching.
Extreme teaching.
Extreme teaching.
Did you have to like do a kickflip while you were teaching?
Man, I wish. It was so boring. It was
Something called extreme teaching is boring.
it was like shit about like, controversial topics like should we expand recess for, it was real hard-hitting stuff like that.
The real issues, people.
Yeah. But I just remember like sitting in that class, staring out a window, it was raining, and just thinking, this is bullshit. I don't want to spend 4 years of my college life doing this, sitting in classes like this. Then I thought a little bit further, and I thought that, would it really be fun to be a teacher? Because I do like history a lot, and I actually do want to incorporate that into film one day. But to me, being a teacher felt like, I'd be talking about I'd be telling the same story every year to a bunch of people who don't really care. And I don't mean to disrespect any teachers. I think educators are great, and we need more of them. And we need more passionate ones in this country, but this didn't seem like it was for me. So I thought back to making videos, how much I liked that. and I changed my major to EMF, and I haven't looked back since.
So how did you find LKT?
All right, so the following semester, I was in kind of another depression. Because like my first semester of college really sucked. I didn't have a whole lot of friends. Didn't really do a whole lot. Just stayed in my room, watched Netflix.
That sounds like a good time to me now.
I mean, yeah, but like, you know, I don't know, it gets lonely, gets tiring. But so spring semester, spring of 2016, I'm in concept and story, one of the EMF prerequisites, and Masha was in that class. And then early into the semester, she spoke to the class about Lambda Kappa Tau, you know, what it is, everything. And I thought, well, why not? You know, this is college. This is time for new experiences. I'm going to join a film frat. You know, not knowing it wasn't really a frat at the time. So, yeah, I outreached.
Just a disclaimer: we are not a frat. We
We're
are
not.
a film society.
Lambda Kappa Tau is a media production society founded through the...
Yeah. I guess we can market ourselves a little bit better in that way, but yeah, so I outreached, met all these wonderful people. You know, that was outreach week was at that point in time the best week of my college experience so far.
Really?
It was just the best time, like just hanging out with all these cool people, you know, people just talking about movies and making films and stuff, and I loved the atmosphere, and I loved, you know, being around these people. So I was ecstatic when they let me in.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Shout out to Masha. She's
Shout
great.
out to Masha. Thanks, Masha.
Yeah.
I'm biased though, but you know, McNulty, earlier I brought up that when you were first outreaching, I thought you were pretty shy and sort of reserved, which is important because you just did something recently that's probably going to blow a lot of minds. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Some big shit that McNulty pulled.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning, McNulty, because this is gonna be out after people already see the film.
Right.
So, take me back to when you first had the idea for Incident Report. How did Incident Report come to conception?
All right. Well, I was in EMF 377 last semester, which is the screenwriting course, and we had to write just a story of like 11 pages or whatever. So, I don't know. I just kind of had this idea in mind. Like years ago, I had seen this story on the internet. I don't remember where, and I can't really delve into a whole lot of specifics without giving some stuff away. But just the way that it was worded and the way that it was composed just blew my mind. So I kept that story in my head for, I don't know, like 6 years. And finally, I had the excuse to actually get it out on paper, write a script about it. And then I reread it in the class. And the class liked it. Carrie Anderson liked it a lot. And then I pitched it to the Cream team for one of our table reads.
You weren't in Cream Productions at that point, were you?
I don't think I was. It was either this or the Steve Buscemi video that got me in. I don't remember.
It was probably the Steve Buscemi video.
Yeah, knowing us, it might have been the Steve Buscemi video, but I'm pretty sure that when you pitched Incident Report to us, it was back when you were just like a little itty bitty prospect. Not that we're some prestigious scouting combine, but you were itty bitty Ryan McNulty, and we were like, hey, maybe he's a cool guy. But you brought Incident Report to one of our script meetings, and tell us how that went.
Well, I just told everyone that was there, and it wasn't just Creamed, it was a few other people outside of Creamed, because they're typically open. But yeah, so we had a table read, and people were mad at me.
Why were they mad at you?
Oh, you'll see.
We were mad at Ryan McNulty for doing this.
All right,
to
yeah.
us.
You know what? I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'll find out soon enough. But
All right. So there were a lot of emotions in the room that night, I think. But in the end, I mean, I think it's fair to say that I got a warm response.
Oh yeah,
Like
red hot.
I'd say at least an 80% on the tomato meter.
at least.
You
I'd
shut
take a
the
guess.
fuck up right now.
So then, someone had the idea of actually producing it. It might have been Corey. I don't know. Maybe Lenzo. So someone said the words, "We should produce this."
I think it was just like an automatic response from all of us. Like I think we
Probably
were
was.
just like we read it and then we were like, when are we gonna make this?
So I didn't really take it seriously at first, but then after I was initiated into Cream Productions, I don't know, we had meetings and then it kind of started growing into something real. Roz took up being producer. God bless you, Roz.
There goes my hero.
Roz is a trooper.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Very, very sleazy producer, which is like what you look for in a producer.
No,
it's
definitely.
it's a good thing.
He's an amazing producer. So he was a producer. Lenzo was DP. I think that's pretty much the normal role he always takes. But everyone starts throwing ideas together. Originally we were gonna have I think pretty huge ideas like we were gonna rent a police car from
that was
from someone,
talked about.
yeah, we ended up not
The
though.
rent from the feds, yo.
Yeah, we were gonna, but we made do.
So we ended up really getting serious about it. We drew up a storyboard and shot a list and made revisions to the script and everything, and it just kind of it started hitting me that I'm going to be making a movie soon. So that January we actually shot Incident Report, and it's just on the last day of set after we wrapped, I was just in this higher state of being. just how like
Out of body experiences.
almost.
I
like-
was euphoric.
It's a good word for it. Yeah.
Orgasmic.
Orgasmic, yeah, sure. And I was just really, I was amazed that we did this thing, and that also that I had a team behind me who was very competent and very willing to help, and just willing to be out in the cold for 4 days, not getting paid.
Ooh, you're not wrong. I mean, I don't care about the not getting paid part because I like doing film and it's a creamed film. So I'm like, not. I don't want to say obligated because that sounds like I don't want to do it. I really fucking wanted to do this, but it didn't bother me because I was like, we're finally making Incident Report. What the fuck?
Yeah,
But a lot of the right pieces had to fall into place for this to happen, and somehow miraculously it all happened.
It happened. It all went together so smoothly, and it blew my mind. And
Awesome.
it was. I just felt really proud. I don't know. It was my first real film outside of classes.
So I gotta ask you, McNulty, of the, what was it, 4 days or 3 days that we were filming?
It was 4 days.
Out of the 4 days that we were filming Incident Report, what was, I want to say, your favorite moment from set?
Oh man, there were a lot of those.
Second.
Yeah, life still comes to mind.
Live.
Chicken meatballs?
Yo.
Chicken meatball. Oh, you know what? I think the chicken meatballs from IKEA were my favorite part of set.
No, honestly, they were really fucking good.
Those are really
I'm not
nice.
gonna
So
lie.
y'all really just had somebody go out to IKEA and buy
Our
like a shit
fucking
ton.
producer,
Yep.
Roz Samaritt, went out to IKEA and got catering almost every single day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with actually having a crafty table, which one day I kind of fucked up by accident. Because look, of all of our locations for Incident Report, minus my house, they were abandoned, foreclosed places. One of them was legit abandoned, and they were in the middle of tearing it down.
Yep.
But we were filming there anyway. And in the basement, they have these windows that sort of look out onto the literal ground level outside on the street. and their window sill is sort of like, it's just a wooden block, and it's like a dilapidated building. So like one of the wooden things was sort of hanging off, and it was being held by a chain that's attached to the window. And I was trying to black out the windows with some black trash bag with Dan Leonard, and I wanted like a better anchor point to like gaff the window, so I tried to put the wooden block back up, and literally as soon as I touched that thing, the block just like fell apart and detached from both chains and fell onto the crafty table along with a bunch of dead spiders and dust.
Yo.
We cleaned it off, and I hope that nobody who ate from Crafty that day is listening to this. But you might have eaten like a dead spider. It's fine.
You might have eaten
calcified spider.
A whole bunch of spider eggs and shit.
Yeah, you
digested.
Yeah, you all might want to get that checked out. I don't think I ate from that side of the table that day. But other than that, shit, it was delicious.
I don't know if you should have revealed that information on the
podcast.
podcast,
It's fine.
Corey.
No, we're multiple months
past. I mean, the spiders are digested, you know.
They were calcified, first of all. They weren't like just spider bodies.
Calcium's good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Good, strong bones. You don't have to drink milk that day. You ate a bunch of calcified spiders. Namdi.
I mean, you know.
What do you know about calcium?
Not much. Because clearly not much.
All right. Were there any times during the set of Incident Report McNulty where you thought that, oh shit, this isn't gonna work?
A few times, I think. Sometimes it was kind of hard talking to Lenzo.
Well, yeah, that's it's hard for anybody. But what?
Bless Lenzo, he's a great DP. But
I'm
sometimes
gonna go ahead and say
just...
this too, man.
I'm gonna edit that out too.
It had to be said.
It had to be.
So,
I mean, sometimes it was just hard to communicate with him what I wanted to do, and that's kind of where Kristen Kinsey stepped up.
Shout out to Kristen Kinsey.
Shout out to Kristen.
Shout out.
No, Kristen was on as a PA, but after like her first day on set, Roz promoted her to like production manager. Because she
kept our
shit.
asses in line.
She handles everything. When Roz wasn't there, she would keep us in line. It's really great. And she was kind of like my, I think I said this before, but she's like a English to Lenzo translator.
An English to Lenzo translator.
Yeah, for some reason, like, I don't know, Lenzo could like clearly understand what she was saying, but not for me.
Lenzo's a peculiar person. I don't think anybody really understands Lenzo.
No,
even
really.
him.
Not really.
But so McNulty, how was it with your first time directing? Were there any like specific challenges that you had to overcome like that?
Well, it was. I felt really nervous going into it because it was such a huge project to tackle.
I'll say, I think Incident Report might be at that point the biggest, just like, I wouldn't call it a student project because we didn't do it for a grade, we just did it to make a film. I would say that Incident Report is maybe the biggest production that I had worked on at that point.
Wow. All right. That was, yeah, but like knowing all the people who, first of all, were hyped up from just the script, like, my roommate Dylan, shout out to Dylan.
Shout out to Dylan.
Like, I read him the script, and also Theron, because I live with him too. Basically, my suite mates and my dad had all read the script, and they're all, they all liked it. The class, I pitched it for, and Carrie Anderson, and I just like tallied up all these people in my mind. And every time there was another person who had heard about Incident Report and came up to me and said that they were excited to see it, I just thought, oh, awesome, that's one more person I'm going to disappoint. But actually going in there and shooting it felt more natural. I don't know, it kind of felt right going into it and actually making it.
Do you think that you have solidified your destiny as a director? at this point?
I don't know if I solidified it yet. I mean, we need to see how it does in festivals or whatever. But
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you now that we have officially screened Incident Report for the people that were intended to see it. What are your plans to distribute that?
well, after the April 1st screening, Roz and I are going to submit it to pretty much every festival we can get it into. So there's a bunch of smaller ones I'm looking at that are just kind of fun. Like there's one in Ocean City.
Oh yeah, William Strang-Moya.
Yeah, I think so. That seems pretty fun. And then like bigger ones, we want to get into Maryland Film Fest. We want to take it to New York Film Fest. Wherever we can get it.
Do you think that you're gonna get any reviews for it? Are you gonna submit it for reviews?
I don't know who I'd submit it to.
Well, there are tons of people that you can send it to. I think if it goes into festival, it's automatically just sort of like reviewed by some people, and you just have to look for it. Because I remember me, Masha, Beth Mahalski, Jack Hildebrandt, Nick Aiello, Dan, and I think you were there for one day with Psychic Murder.
No, I don't think I was on that.
Well, Psychic Murder is starting to get reviews, and it's only been in like the JHU festival at Johns Hopkins. But we had like a sort of like a big name actor that was in it, so I don't know if that's why it's getting reviews. But I think if it goes to festival, it just gets reviewed.
It's automatically eligible to get reviewed.
Cool. All right. So I guess we'll look forward to that.
Yeah, we got Mr. Donald M.
Donald M.
How did we get Donald to do this film?
I emailed him.
Simple as
That's
that.
pretty much it. Yeah, like I was.
Dear Donald.
When we were doing casting for Incident Report, his name came up somehow. I don't remember how. I think he was in.
He was in Black and Blue.
Yeah, I heard that. I hadn't seen Black and Blue at the point though, but
He actually played a detective.
yeah, kind of typecast. I think he was in a Matt Friend film at some point. That's where I got the name from, and pulled up a headshot of him, and I don't know, he looked like he could fit the part. So I emailed him, and he said he'd be, and I emailed him the script also, and he said he'd be happy to do it. And I met with him before shooting at Bateman's just to go over the thing, and he's a great guy to work with. He just loves acting. He does it for student films. He does it for like professional stuff. He just loves it. He does it for free. He does it for pay. It's like a second job.
Mm-hmm.
But he just loves acting.
He's a stand-up guy.
He really is. Like he's great to have on set. Like we would. There are a couple times where we had to, where we did more takes than we had planned because he felt he wasn't delivering I guess the best performance that he could give. He's a wonderful professional actor to work with.
You know what? It's really cool because you went out outside of the confines of say LKT or film classes. Like you went out and you made your own film. And I really feel like, the people that we know, whether they be in LKT or not, it sets an example for other people in the COFAC that, you can go out and make the films that you want to do outside of the classroom, without the confines of, assignments or like criteria. It doesn't have to be until like film 2 or film 3 where you can make your vision. You can just simply, link up with people in the COFAC, network with people, and have that vision be brought to life. And I think that that's really important, that we have people like you, Ryan, really, setting an example and sort of taking charge of their vision. I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, Ryan. I think that a lot of people had the excuse that, oh, I don't have time to do this. Like, I'll wait till my classes are required to do a film, and that's when I'll do it because they'll have time allotted for it, and I just don't have time to go out and make a film to do what I want to do. And then you kind of just stepped in and was like, no, fuck you. You do have time.
You did it over winter break.
We did, yeah. So we did, have time for that in that period of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's always time. Breaks don't have. If you're a film student and you have ideas that you want to work on, and you have breaks, you have winter breaks, spring break, and especially summer break. There's really no excuse, unless you have to. There's really no excuse. Like
take off of your part-time job to do what you love.
Yeah, if it's
worth it.
Like there's this whole thing of like I don't have enough time, and like you have plenty of time, especially now that you're in college and you can like make the films that you want to make. Rather, when you go into the industry, you may start off in the industry and like you may not have the time or the opportunities to make the visions that you want to make starting off, depending on what you want to do. But I feel like right now is sort of the prime time to sort of get your crazy ideas, like your incident reports or your cream potatoes or your
hell yeah,
or your making do's. Shout out to Devin McLaughlin. Or your
Welcome to Night coming up. Well,
yeah,
that's
Welcome to Night.
But Welcome to Night started out as a feature film, didn't it?
A feature? I don't think it. No, I don't think so. It started out as we wanted to make something for halfway there in like a short amount of time, but it fell through because
there's security problems with our location. So we didn't get to do that, and we ended up doing Mia instead, right?
Yeah.
And which didn't get the screen until like a while afterwards, but
yeah, Mia was interesting. That was an interesting one.
You talking about the intro?
No, I'm not. I mean, just the whole film. I mean, the intro included, but just the whole film. I remember, like, you told me a story, which I don't think we're going to get into on the podcast, but I thought that was really fucking funny.
Give me a hint.
I mean, the intro. They putting together the intro.
Yeah, doing the Foley for that was kind of a weird experience. But that's my job.
One person you cracked up at, the other person you couldn't look in the eye.
I still can't to this day.
Oh my god.
Oh man, that was a funny day. It's always a good time on set.
I'm sure it was. You know what? Yeah, like I wonder what it's like if you put that in a script, like for student productions, like how would that work? You know what I mean? Like for student productions, if you were to put that type of scene in a film,
it's just like professionalism. You just gotta like put it aside and be like, well, it's in the script, so let's just do it. It's like it's a job,
right? Just approach it like it's a job.
Well, I mean, it is. Like I had to do it, and I was like, all right, let's just go over where nobody can hear you except for me, and I'll just look away, and I'll just do it.
Just do what you got to do.
But McNulty, I have to ask you.
Yes.
What's on the chopping block next?
All right, so I got I've started pre-production work for what I hope will be my film 2, Mouthwash.
Mouthwash.
Are you in film 2?
I will be next semester, hopefully.
What's give us a teaser of Mouthwash.
Right, well, Mouthwash also came out of EMF 377.
It's just a gold mine for your script.
It is. It's a great class.
Who'd you have for 377? Carrie Anderson?
Carrie Anderson.
Yeah. Shout out Carrie Anderson.
Thanks, Carrie.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it just gives you an excuse to write. But it also got warm response from the crowd and from Professor Anderson and other people also showed the script too. So it's an interrogation torture.
Oh yeah,
film.
I think you pitched this to us too.
I did, yeah.
And then I think we shot it down a little bit.
I mean, yeah. Well,
have you like rewritten it?
I have, yeah. It's rewritten. It's deeper now. It's better.
You should come pitch it to us again.
I will. Whenever you have another table read, I'd love to bring it.
Well, we're getting together tonight, as you know. You can stop by and see if we have time to get a little bit of that mouthwash.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
I said, fuck you. No.
You said mouthwash. That'd be more accent.
There's no R in the title.
Yes.
I can have them for you,
For
though.
those of you who are unaware, which is literally 0 people, I pronounce like a total of 5 words differently.
What are those words? Water?
Water, zinc, wash, oil, like when you go to get an oil change, and well, I guess it's not really one word; it's 2 words, but it's down there,
Down there.
down there,
All
Down
right.
there.
down there. It's like down there,
Oh, man.
It's
so
gross.
be more.
Good old Baltimore.
like not even like I don't even have a thick accent.
Only
like some-
only with those words, really.
Well, yeah, but like you should meet some people from around where I live, and they talk like a fucking Hun. Where are you from, McNulty?
I am from Westminster in Carroll County.
Gross.
Carroll
I mean, not, I
County.
mean, like, not
It's-
gross, but to me, it's gross. I have this thing where I like, people are always telling me like, oh, wouldn't you just love to live in the country? And I'm like, no, I'd go fucking insane. What are you talking about? I can't fall asleep unless there's like 5 helicopters surrounding the area.
It's a nice place. It's the people aren't always. Yeah, but
They have a little bit of a racist reputation.
do they?
In Carroll County, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of what I grew up with. I'm not racist, but
You got to make that disclaimer.
the clear giveaway when you are
I'm
a
not
racist.
racist, but
I'm
I
not
am
a
from Carroll
racist.
County. I don't know. Maybe that's where I get my Western vibes from.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you that. Since in about a year now that I've known you, McNulty, you've made a weird transition that I've noticed from mild-mannered, just normal dude, normal guy McNulty, to you are literally a cowboy now. You have spurs, you have a huge belt, you have a cowboy hat that you wear frequently. You wear the
Official.
spurs more frequently than the cowboy hat.
Official
More than-
tissue.
And you now own a Henry repeater. So what's the deal? Like, what are you? Do you have like some sort of cowboy fetish now?
Is that your aesthetic?
It's kind of an aesthetic.
I mean, I'm down with it, to be honest. Like,
All right, that's
I can
all
get
that
down
matters.
with a cowboy McNulty. I mean, like, I'm not gonna get down with you.
No,
but,
I hear you.
But I can get down with
You
you.
hired a horse, whatever. I don't know. My sister got married in
How about that?
a summer ago, and she had this kind of Western country.
Is she a cowboy too? Was it
Kind of.
Western
She used to
themed?
work. She used to work at a PBR in Baltimore, which is like it's like a country themed bar, and I guess she really liked it. She's living in California now with her husband, and there's a baby on the way.
Oh,
Gonna be an uncle.
Congrats, Ryan.
congrats.
I'm very
Being an uncle is a weird thing. I'm a
Maybe.
step uncle.
well. Her wedding was kind of a cowboy, not cowboy, but country themed. The people from PBR came to the wedding, and it was held in at a farm museum in a barn.
Really?
It was very beautiful.
So when they walked down the aisles, did the husband like kick open like saloon style doors and then walk down the aisle?
Oh man, he should have.
That would have
That'd
been
be great.
fucking cool. I'm gonna do that at my wedding, even though I don't give a shit about cowboys really.
So my sister got or picked out these cowboy boots for everyone to wear.
For everybody?
Well, not everybody, but the wedding party. I was one of the groomsmen.
Look at you.
So all the groomsmen wore the same style of cowboy boot, and then started wearing them around, kind of kicking them in. And I don't know, I just felt kind of cool wearing them. And then my dad does this thing where like if I ever start getting into something, he'll go an extra mile and then like really support me. He'll buy like all kinds of shit. Like I told him I needed some lighting supplies, so he started getting me like he got me not lighting supplies, but when I started getting into film, he started going out and like getting like got me a clap slate. He got me a bunch of tools for gripping. He got me 2 China balls. He does this thing where he always goes all overboard. And he got me these spurs for the wedding. And I don't know, I just kind of like wearing them around with the boots on.
I'll never forget the first time that I saw you wearing those. And we were in Paul's together, and we were in line to get food, and I looked down at your feet, and I was like, is McNulty wearing cowboy boots? And then you turned around, and I was like, is McNulty wearing cowboy boots with motherfucking spurs on them? What the fuck is going on here?
Sometimes I wear my boots and spurs to pause, just to...
And sometimes you wear your slippers. Your bunny slippers?
No, just fuzzy pink slippers. I'll wear those to take my final exams.
I mean, well, yeah, that's okay. I feel I've worn pajamas to final exams before.
Yeah, and then I don't know, everything else kind of like the hat, and oh yeah, the belt buckle was also from the wedding. So the belt buckle and the boots were from the wedding, and then everything else is kind of jumbled together.
Huh. So you're just dedicated to this cowboy thing now?
Might as well go full on.
I guess so.
Once you find your identity, just roll with it, you know?
How did you get into shooting?
I don't know. I don't really want to say playing video games, but kind of playing video games. The
weeaboo answer.
Yeah, kind of.
Welcome back to the Weeb podcast.
But let's see. My dad has this 22 rifle that we used to go out and shoot, and then his coworker he took me out with a shotgun one day.
Good phrasing.
I could have said that better. He took me out to shoot with a shotgun one day, and I don't know, I was 15 at the time. It was really cool. And then Lucas is also into guns, and for those of you who don't know,
shout out to Lucas English.
Good old Lucas.
Shout out.
And
That's your big, ain't it?
yes, that's my big. That's my big.
You had a really good paddle for you for road class initiation.
I love that
slate,
paddle.
Yeah,
My
slate
God.
paddle.
And yeah, we go out shooting sometimes too. I just like collecting them.
Collecting guns.
I only have one so far. They're expensive, but
Yeah.
they're fun to have.
I feel like that's like me with tattoos. I mean, like, I don't regret getting tattoos, except for like maybe the Rising Sun one, because old people still fucking hate me to this day. But sometimes I wake up and I just look at my arms, and I have $1,000 worth of drawings on my arms, and I'm like, what
That
can I
means
buy
you're
with
worth
it?
over $1,000.
I don't think that's what it means, but
I mean, well, it can.
I just think like
To me, you are.
I just think sometimes like, what kind of shit could I buy with $1,000?
More tattoos.
Exactly.
More tattoos.
Yeah.
I wish I could get a tattoo, but see, you know, when you got strict conservative Nigerian parents like I do, man,
Just hide it. Just wear long sleeves all day.
just hide it.
My mom still doesn't know about my tattoo.
Really?
Nope.
Well, I mean, does she care? Would she care?
Well, I feel like if she sees it, or when she sees it, she will see it eventually. She might hear about it right now. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said this.
Oh, look
too
out,
late.
Mama McNulty. Your son's got a tattoo, and he's around town taking all these girls.
Sorry, Mom. It's a spade, which is like my grandfather, who I was close to. He taught me how to play cards when I was younger, and I love playing cards. So I got this tattoo in honor of him, and I think that when my mom finds out about that, she'll understand.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that tattoos are becoming more of an acceptable thing. Because I chose film not only because it was like, whatever, I don't have to dress like a fucking square all day. But it's like, tattoos are becoming a cool thing. I mean, they were always a cool thing, but like, you don't have to like hide them anymore.
In your field, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's pretty cool to have a tattoo, and you can be a sweet badass with your tats.
Yeah.
Like, hey girl, check out these tats on my arm. You'd be like, you know what this is, girl? You know what this is?
You know what?
This is a spade.
I could probably get a tattoo like around like the same area, like like I could get like probably like up on my like shoulder or like my upper arm, because like I could hide it if I'm wearing like a work shirt. But you know, I would know that it's there. And like if I were to get a tattoo, and I've always said this, it'd be either one or two things. It would be either just like a basic outline of Africa, just an outline, on my arm or on my forearm, or the Rebel Alliance symbol. So two, you know.
Volcano Los Dos.
Yep, that'd be.
I mean, that would be slick to have an outline of Africa and the Rebel Alliance symbol inside of it.
Inside of it, yeah. That's what I was. Yeah, you told me I should do that. That'd be dope. I don't know if I would get it colored in though, because I feel like depending on where I would get the tattoo, like it would need to be somewhere where it's a lot of flesh, so it wouldn't hurt as bad.
Namdi, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are entirely covered in flesh.
Well, I mean, where there's a lot of muscle. That's what I meant. A lot of muscle.
I mean, like getting a tattoo where there's not a lot of muscle and it's more just like fleshy or fat or whatever you call this on the underside of like an arm. It doesn't hurt that bad, but like it just hurts a lot less to get it on muscle. Right.
So if I were to get a tattoo, I would get it in that area, and it would be that tattoo. Nothing too crazy, but you know, if you want to get a tattoo, it has to be, you know, something that, you know, is well thought out and, you know, means a lot. So,
McNulty, where did you go for your tattoo?
Is it a reputable place?
Yes, it is. I went to Little Vinny's in where is that? It's not quite in Westminster. It's like on the way from. It's like in between Westminster and Towson.
Oh, okay.
It's a fine establishment for tattoos.
Okay, I go to a very shady place. A very, very shady place in Dundalk. Well, it's not really. Yeah, I guess for these kind of purposes, it is in Dundalk, but it is a place run entirely by people who look like they just got out of prison. Like they all have tattoos, and like they specialize in like these weird horror tattoos. Like the dude who did these two tattoos on me, my Ganesh and Tame Impala Currents tattoo, he specializes in like horror film like tattoo recreations, like Evil Dead and shit.
It's pretty sweet.
And I was like, okay. But one time, this is like one of the funny stories from when I got a tattoo. I was getting my last one done, the Tame Impala Currents, and I was in the chair, and it had already been like 2 hours at this point. And some dude comes into the shop, and he just kind of looks like a normal dude, I guess. Maybe like normal in Dundalk terms, which sounds rude, but for anybody who knows what Dundalk is, you know what's up. But he comes into the shop, and he's just sort of like staring at things, and the owner of the shop is just like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm just looking. And he was like, okay, well, if you're not gonna buy anything, you gotta get out of here. And then he looked at him and he said, you know, you tattooed my mom 20 years ago. Oh. And the dude was like, yeah, did I? And then he said, did she like it? And then the dude looked at him and said, I don't know, she's dead. And then this is when the point, me and my tattoo artist, and I'm like lying sort of like on my chest on the table, because it's like a weird placement of my arm that you have to do. Me and my tattoo artist both look up, and we're like, oh shit, is this the end? Like, I had no clue what was going on, but the dude just like sort of left, and he went like outside, and just like without saying a word to anybody, and we were just like, what the fuck was that? That was some weird shit. But my tattoo artist took like a smoke break or whatever, like an hour or so left from the appointment, and he went to like the subway that's like 3 doors down, And in between the Subway and the tattoo shop, there's like this daycare center sort of type thing where it's where like kids hang out, like small children, kids.
All right.
Which seems kind of like a weird place to put it on like the middle of a highway between a tattoo shop and a Subway. But, you know, like I said, that's Dundalk for you. But my tattoo artist went to Subway and he came back and he was like, yo, you guys are never going to fucking believe this. And we're like, why? What happened? He was like, that dude that came in here like 15 minutes ago, he's in that daycare center and he's just looking around again. And we're like, what the fuck? But he never came back in and like killed us or anything, so
That's always a good resolution.
yeah, who knows what was up with that. But my tattoo artists also hang out with white supremacists, so I mean, I don't think I'll ever go there again.
Now, these artists, were they so tatted up it looked like they were like wearing clothes, like a skin tight shirt? Like, were they that tatted up?
And they didn't know, like, you could still see their skin, but like they had a little bit on their face, some of them.
I don't understand getting tattoos on your face unless you're like a gangbanger, but
I'll never get a tattoo on my face or my neck.
Yeah, that's weird.
Anywhere else I think is like okay to do it, but like I wouldn't get it like on my legs or anything either, just because like why the fuck would I ever do that? If anything, I would just do my arms and my chest. I have a really cool like idea for a chest tattoo if I ever come into like a large amount of money that I can just like throw around.
How much do tattoos cost?
It depends. There's like a flat rate of $80. Like even if you're getting like a little like dot on your arm, just like so people don't waste their time. But typically, it's either like $100 to $150 an hour, and like depending on how big your tattoo is going to be, it might be multiple sessions. My tattoos are, like almost the entire one side of my arm, but I've never went back for multiple days. I just do it all in the chair. The longest I've ever been in the chair is 3 hours. So like 300, 200, 300.
Yeah, mine took like half an hour. It was only like $100. But for a first time tattoo, it was pretty nice.
I mean, I like it.
I like it
It's a pretty sweet tattoo.
Thank you.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to plug that you haven't already plugged?
Yeah, it's gonna be a short episode today. We're rest in peace, Gosnell and Kelly. I think this is actually like the normal amount of time our podcast is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we get so off track every other time.
It really depends on the type of episode.
We don't end up getting to talk about what we came here to talk about, but we finally did it.
Well, nothing really to plug, but I would like to give a shout out to Roz for being a kick-ass producer for Instant Report.
Hell yeah, Roz Samara. Whoop whoop.
And
Shout out to
also
Roz.
to Dom LaFrancesca.
Yeah, that's
for
my little.
producing a really awesome score.
Tell Dom that I love him if you see him first. Well, actually, Dom, I love you if you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, Dom, Corey says he loves you.
I love you.
He doesn't get enough credit. Well, at least for this podcast, but no.
Shout out to Jen Rudell, too.
How could I forget Jen? Jen was the makeup artist for Instant Report, and she did a phenomenal job. On the big screen for the private screening, it looked astounding. But,
God damn.
and please donate to the Gosnell and Kelly Memorial Fund.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to be sending out links for the Gosnell and Kelly Memorial Fund. They both died in tragic accidents, weeks apart from each other.
I should really reiterate, they are not dead. They're just busy with other
They
things right now.
They are 100% dead.
They will probably be here for the next episode coming up.
Not if you don't keep with that voodoo shit,
I
Nambi.
don't
We're
believe
trying
in
to bring the
ghosts,
dead
Nambi,
back.
so I don't think so.
Look, I'm not well versed in voodoo, but I do know that they'll probably be here. The real crew will be back, reassembled and ready for action.
Yeah? Tell him what the next episode is, Namdi.
The next episode, oh man, we got a treat for y'all. The next episode will be released around Wham Fest, which I will also plug. Wham Fest is coming up. It's April. Is it April 15th to the 22nd?
I don't know.
Around that time. So we will be having a special Women in Media panel, and we will have some of the best and brightest female media peoples around these parts to come and chat it up with us.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be dope, and I can't wait. We will have all of our hosts here.
Better.
So until next time, thank you so much, Ryan.
Ryan, closing statement. Well,
Okay,
no, wait,
yeah.
no closing statement yet. Say what you were gonna say.
This kind of was a closing statement, but almost forgot to mention, because Instant Report will be going to festivals, I cannot, unfortunately, put it up on like a public YouTube channel or anything. But if you do message me directly through Facebook or text, or just, come up and talk to me, I will send you a private link on probably Vimeo or something, so you can see it if you want to. So just hit me up if you want to see it, if you can't make it to the screening.
Right on. Closing statement.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. being
No
on the
problem.
podcast. Thanks for listening.
All right, that wasn't good enough for me. Give me a random fact.
All right. Oh, God.
TikTok.
Yeah. I'll take time. Let's see.
Really leave us with something to think about.
They don't think it be like it is, but it do.